Have you ever had something unexplainable happen to you? Something that, if you were to tell someone, that they would probably not believe you? I'm sure each and every one of you have at least one story that just shakes you to your core every time you think about it. Today I'm going to be reading some scary true stories on Reddit from people who have experienced the unexplainable and things that have traumatized them for life. Lovely, right? And it's currently almost 2 a.m. I'm also recording this with my best friend Alex. Yeah, she's also my roommate too. We live together now. Yeah, that's pretty great. We've already had a bunch of scary shit happen in this house, like having a mimic literally talk in our friends' voices and hear shit all the time in this place. So I feel like I can relate a lot with some of these stories in certain ways, at least. I know this is a slightly different video than what I've posted on this channel so far, but I wanted to try it out. It seemed kind of fun, and I really like reading scary stories like this to you guys. So let me know what you think, and if you enjoyed this video, maybe I'll do some more. Also, feel free to leave down in the comments some of your scary stories. Maybe if I do a video like this, I could read some of you guys' scary stories. The belly crawling man. This one is literally marked disturbing. So
the belly crawling man. Wait, I want to see.
Yeah, this one kind of caught my attention.
I'm kind of curious. What is the belly crawling man?
Yeah, so it kind of sounds like something you'd see that no one would believe. Like, I know you've had some experiences with like childhood stuff.
Yes.
Shit, yeah, everyone has that, like something no one would believe. This is a true story that happened to my husband and I.
Oh, married couple. Oh, okay.
It began with a dream, but ended up in our actual, very real, everyday lives. What?
Wait, what? A dream that becomes reality?
You know, I feel like that does actually make sense,
that's
though.
Horrible.
Yeah, it is horrible, but like, you know how you have those things where you kind of like subconsciously dream about something that happened to you? Like,
yes.
Yeah, or you know, maybe your subconscious saw.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this.
That's scary. Okay, I want to know more.
Yo, what does this have to do with the belly crawling man, though? What the One night, I had a dream so bad I woke myself up whimpering. In the dream, a man was crawling along the ground on his belly, drooling, snarling, chewing, and clawing his way along the earth. Wow.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
That's a description, alright. Picture King's Lawnmower Man? What the hell is that? Have you ever heard of that?
No.
There's gonna be a mistake.
Oh! Ew! Oh, that's more disturbing than I thought.
What the f even is this?
I've never heard of that. I don't want to know.
I don't know what this is. Okay. Alright. It's a good description, thank you. Just terrifying. He crawled along the side of our home until he got to my window. Then he pulled himself up and looked in with wild yellow eyes. He was chewing, biting on a pair of red thong underwear. He stretched them out, gritting one end of his teeth and pulling the other end tight with his hand like it was bubblegum. Ew.
Oh, that's disgusting.
He was growling and making noises like Danny DeVito's penguin character in the 1990s Batman. What?
Oh, what a way to describe that.
It is very specific, and I actually kind of appreciate it. I feel like that makes it more authentic in my opinion. Such a bizarre reference. It was such a visual and auditory dream. It was terrifying. My whimpering woke up my husband, told my husband about the dream, and he comforted me back to sleep. And eventually I forgot about the dream. But not too long after, in real life, don't tell me they saw someone crawling on their house.
Oh, not the belly man.
My husband and I were outside doing yard work in the grass alongside our house. Right below our window there was a stretched out pair of red thong underwear.
Ew.
What? My husband and I just froze and looked at each other. I was like, what the babe? Yeah. My husband was like, I don't know, that's really weird.
Wait, so was it not a dream then? Did what they see they actually saw and just thought it was a dream?
Yeah? What?
That sounds scary.
Well, I mean, she saw it, right? It was, I don't know, she says that it was her and her husband, but she's the one that had the dream. So, I mean, the husband wasn't messing with her, right?
I
Surely
hope not.
Surely
Unless
not.
he did, but like, that'd be so f***ed up.
Unless, I don't know. My god. Bro, that would actually terrify me, though, like forever, not knowing where that came from, you know?
Yeah, like not having a single clue whether he did that or if it was real.
My god, okay. Alright, that's not a fun thing to live with. Anyways, let's try the next one.
This next one is a visitor who never left. Okay.
God. Okay.
I was 18 years old, female, when this happened. At the time, I was living at home with my parents, who had recently moved far out into the countryside. Their farm was part of a tiny, rural cluster, about 7 farms on one road. Wait, so they're living in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah. That's never fun. That shit's creepy.
That night, I was home alone with our dog, a large lab. I was looking after until my parents came back the next day. It was around 11 p.m. I was lying on this upstairs couch with a movie playing quietly on the TV, half asleep and relaxed in the stillness of the house. Then, 3 loud knocks shattered the silence. They came from the front door downstairs. The door directly at the bottom of the staircase leading up to where I was. The sound was sharp, deliberate, not hesitant, and not accidental. My dog sprang out of his bed beside me and started barking immediately. I tried to calm him, but he was beyond listening. He bolted down the stairs and positioned himself in front of the door, barking and growling into the darkness. Outside the courtyard was completely black. I stood halfway down the staircase, my pulse hammering in my ears, and called out, "Hello?" No reply, just silence. I called again, louder this time, still nothing. The quiet that followed felt wrong, thick and watchful.
Yeah, you know it's bad whenever your dog starts barking at something in the darkness.
They can sense shit that we can't.
Bro, that happens so often.
And probably see.
Yeah.
Yes.
They'll just bark at nothing in the corner.
After a moment that felt much longer than it was, I forced myself to move. I stepped down the rest of the stairs, my dog still tense at the door. Carefully, I opened it just enough to lean my head outside. There was nothing there. No lights, no movement, no footsteps fading away, only the dark courtyard and the cold night air. It felt like whoever or whatever had knocked had simply vanished. I shut the door quickly and locked every entrance in the house. My hands were shaking as I called my parents. They immediately contacted our neighbors, a couple who lived nearby. Within minutes, they arrived. I explained what had happened. Still trying to steady my voice, they decided to walk around the barns and check the property. Those 10 minutes felt endless. When they returned, they said they hadn't found anything. Still, they strongly suggested that I come sleep in their guest room for the night. I told them it was probably just me overreacting if nothing had been found, but they kept insisting, more seriously than I expected. Then it would be safer to come with them. Wait, do they know something?
I mean, I don't know, maybe they're just good neighbors, but yeah, they might.
Or maybe they know something that she doesn't.
Shit, I mean, what if there is something crazy?
I refused. I couldn't leave my dog alone. Before leaving, they told me to call immediately if anything else happened, no matter how small. When my parents returned the next day, they installed surveillance cameras outside the front door. They said it was to make me feel safer, especially since I was often home alone with the dog. A few months later, my parents were celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary. During the evening, I found myself talking with my female neighbor and thanked her again for coming over that night. Her expression shifted. She went quiet for a moment, like she was weighing whether to say what was on her mind.
What?
Then she told me she had to be honest with me. That night, shortly before my parents called her, she had been outside saying goodnight to her horses. The yard was completely still. No wind, no distant cars, nothing. That's when she heard it. Footsteps. Wait, so she does know something.
Yeah, I guess that's why they were so cautious and trying to find it.
Clear, deliberate footsteps crunching through the gravel in our courtyard. Not random, not hurried, slow, controlled, like someone walking with purpose in the dark. She said the sound carried unnaturally well in the silence. Then the footsteps stopped right there in the yard. She waited to hear them continue, to hear someone speak, a door, anything. But there was only a heavy, suffocating silence. And just moments later, my parents called her about the knocking. She told me she never heard those footsteps leave.
That's for sure not a coincidence. What the hell?
What the hell? What
Yeah.
was it then?
Yeah, you know, like, we kind of have... We both have experiences with stuff like that, with like footsteps, hearing shit
Yes.
like that, and it just... I feel like most common things that spirits do are just like things do to scare you. I don't know. It's footsteps.
Yes.
Always footsteps.
Yes, because you and I have heard footsteps before.
Remember when we were in
And-
that, when we were ghost hunting?
Yes, in that hospital, and we
Yeah.
heard footsteps.
Yeah, we heard
That
footsteps
was
outside.
insane.
Like, it was... Oh, that was one of the creepiest moments. It sounded just like that. It was like on gravel.
Yes.
Crunching through gravel like that.
Terrifying.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fucking horrible. Being home alone and the only one to experience that. I mean, I guess not the only one. The neighbors did too. Oh.
Yeah, but now they both know that they're not crazy.
Yeah. I read through this one just a little bit and it seems pretty fucking creepy. It's called Campground Horror, which is already
Campground?
Yeah. That's like the perfect horror setting. Yeah, it's pretty long, so let's see.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
I'm nervous to see what this is gonna say, okay?
This happened in summer of 2020. I, female 20 at the time, had gone on a trip to Moab, Utah with my roommate and best friend since high school, Kendall, female 21 at the time. We had last minute joined her family's trip celebrating her sister's high school graduation. We lived a few hours by car from Moab, which had just reopened after being closed to the public due to COVID. They had plans to go skydiving and we were excited to tag along. Our plan was to drive separately, stay the night on the couch of her family's Airbnb, go skydiving with them, and then stay the last night at a small cabin in a campground right outside town. Just the two of us. As an added adventure. Yeah, a small campground outside of town, huh? We had never been on a trip as adults, staying on our own, and we were excited to have the independence. That's like setting for the perfect horror fucking
Yeah, the
slasher
perfect horror
film.
movie.
Yeah. Two adults, young adults, first trip in a cabin, really. Fast forward, we had a great trip down there, as well as a fun first night with Kendall's family. We all went skydiving in the morning early. It was beautiful after Kendall and I had a huge adrenaline rush and decided to go for a hike to a watering hole. There we explored and even did a small cliff jump into the water. By the end of the day, we were exhausted physically from our activities and from the rush of, and now drop of adrenaline. We had checked into our campground, which was about 10 miles from the town. That's far. That is
Yeah.
far to be alone. Alright. There was a general store at the mouth of the property, with somewhat unfriendly older cashiers to check us in, but we didn't really think much of it. The campground was made of different sections of tents, RVs, and small cabins. When I say small cabins, I mean room for 2 twin beds and a chair, and hardly anything else. Damn, alright. We stayed in one
That
of
really
those.
sucks.
Yeah, like I said, Moab had just reopened to tourists, so besides us, we saw one of their family and the Rees staying in an entire campground. We also noticed we didn't have a cell phone signal in the camp. Remember that.
Oh, that's even worse. Not
Yeah.
being able to call
Oh
anyone.
my god, bro. I mean, come on. You guys are setting yourself up for some shit. Like, even if it's nothing, like, supernatural or whatever, but just people in general. Like, being alone like that in a reopened campground? Oh, okay.
No, I just can't imagine. Nope. I would
No.
not do this.
No, not without at least a giant group of friends or something. I don't know. Just 2 people is crazy. By nightfall, we could hardly move our bodies. We were so sore and spent about an hour in camp chairs under the stars drinking a few Mike's Hearts. Before I knew it, I realized we had a little bit too much for being an unfamiliar place on our own, but shook it off. We decided to call it night and grabbed our lantern to head to the communal bathrooms to wash our face. Also, all I had known that Kendall had sprained her ankle a month prior to this and was wearing a boot on her right leg. Yes, she went skydiving and hiking with us. But yeah, we were young and eager to get out after lockdown, but she was unable to drive with the angle her foot needed to be at to brake safely, so I had to do all the driving. We made our way to the bathroom, giggling through the pitch dark with our light. We reached the hut that held 4 separate bathrooms. Each had a shower directly across from the door, and a toilet and sink against the side wall. We swung the door open, eager to get out of the dark, and flipped the light switch on. I entered the room first and immediately stopped in my tracks. Kendall stopped in the doorway. We both were silent. There was something off. I don't know how to describe it, but it was like an intense feeling something was wrong. We stared forward at the shower, which had the curtain half drawn closed. There was some kind of short stepping stool in the middle of the shower. What the hell? 2 front legs poking out from behind the curtain. My eyes started to rise and I could just make out the faint silhouette of a person standing on the stool behind the thin curtain. We stood there frozen in shock. confusion and disbelief. There couldn't be something hiding behind the curtain like a scary movie, right? Suddenly, Kendall broke the silence. What's that? I looked to my right where the sink was. Propped on the sink against the mirror was an iPhone with the screen facing us. The camera was out and recording. That snapped me out of my trance. I shouted nope, and we both turned around and basically ran back to our cabin. What?
What?
I have so many fucking questions.
Wait, yeah, me too.
What? So there was a naked man like filming himself in a shower or what? In the middle of the night in a cabin with like 3 other people around? Oh, I don't like that.
No, I don't like that. No.
Yeah.
Does it get worse?
We locked the door and tried to figure out what we just walked into. We couldn't call anyone because we had no signal, and this was our first time staying somewhere new on our own. I had been drinking and didn't feel confident that I could drive through the rocks and sharp turns and make it back to the highway. We tried to calm ourselves down, talk our way out of what we saw. We turned the lights off because I couldn't get the image of someone looking through the one small window on the door leading into our cabin. We were all alone in this campground, completely exhausted physically from our skydive and hiking. I know it sounds dumb, but at the time we were so confused and tired we just decided to go to sleep and leave first thing in the morning.
Good.
Yeah, I mean,
Good, I'm glad they left before things got worse.
Yeah, okay. We pushed our beds together and lay in the dark in silence. I started to think about the staff who worked at the campground and if they, knowing it was almost empty, had been in the one in the bathroom, or if we were just mistaken in what we saw. About 10 minutes into laying there, Kendall said, "You know what's weird?" I froze, waiting to hear something to add to this horrible situation. She told me about earlier when she had gone to take a shower, how she looked up and saw a blinking blue light in the vent above the shower. I didn't
What?
say anything. We left in the morning and never spoke about any of it again.
Oh.
Wait.
Oh no.
Oh, that's even worse in my opinion.
That,
What
yeah,
the hell?
in the shower. Oh. They're in the
Oh.
dark web.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no.
What are the odds though? Like, who's
And
recording
why would you not
that?
say anything though?
I mean, who are you gonna tell, honestly? I'm sure that they probably took it down. And like, the police ain't
I
gonna
don't
go
know,
over
grab
there.
the device, track whoever planted it there.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. But like, they're probably scared. I mean, I don't know if I'd go back in there. That's crazy. Okay. Let's see what happened. Honestly, I know we didn't handle the situation well. Please don't give me shit in the comments. If it happened now, there's no way we would have reported it. We wouldn't have reported it. But we were young and scared. We didn't know how to process what was happening. I still don't know really what happened. Anyways, we never stayed there again. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I understand because they were young, and when something like this happens to you, you don't really know how you're gonna react in the moment.
Yeah, you really
But damn,
don't.
that really sucks. Someone has footage of them.
Yeah, I mean, shit, she went in there earlier and saw that and didn't even say anything? I saw a blinking light recording me in the shower, bro. What?
Yeah, I'd be freaking out. I'd be grabbing that shit and
Just
taking
like,
it to authorities.
pay attention. If there's something sus above you in the shower, especially if you're somewhere that you don't know about, you're unknown, like if you're taking a shower in a public area, look around, bro. I would not be showering
I'm
with
always
there's a
I'm
vent.
always so cautious whenever
Yeah.
I'm using a public bathroom. I will look around.
Yeah, you make sure that those doors, there's not a second door that can be opened. Make sure that shit locks from the inside. There's not a, I don't know, just pay attention, because especially if you're being
Yeah.
stupid and going out
No,
into a
that's
fucking
terrifying.
cabin alone.
No, especially because they sell devices now that are just way too small that can blend in.
Yeah.
And anyone can record anyone. It's
Oh.
kind of fucked up.
Also, 2 girls too. Like, I just feel fucking bad because they're yeah. Anyways, that's crazy. That's crazy. They are crazy. Don't you ever go and do some dumb shit like that.
This next one is called "Something Outside of My Window Kept Calling My Dog in My Family's Voice." Oh
Bro.
no! Oh no! I can relate to this.
You can. You
Oh, I
really
hate
can.
it. Okay.
You've had a lot of experience with shit calling your name, or like
Yes.
other voices that you know calling your name,
Ooh,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was 20 years old when this happened. In 2023, I live in a quiet suburb in Southern California. It was a rainy night, sometime around 9 p.m. My family had just finished dinner and everyone went to their rooms. My parents' room is towards the back of the house, facing the backyard, and my room faces the street. I have a large window right next to my bed, and that night I had it slightly open because I like the cool air when it rains. Okay, fair, but you know what? I would never do that if my window was facing the street.
No, that's some dumb shit. Come on.
My 2 dogs were on my bed with me. I was sitting at my desk, scrolling on Pinterest, trying to decide what I wanted to paint. That's when I heard it. Clear as day, I heard my mom's voice from outside my window say, "Bean, Bean." Bean is my dog's name. At first, I didn't think anything of it. I just assumed maybe my mom stepped outside for some reason, but then I paused. Our front door is old and heavy and loud. You can hear it open from anywhere in the house. I never heard it open. I froze and listened again. Bean, Bean. It sounded exactly like her. Same tone, same cadence.
That's a mimic.
Not yelling, just casually calling him. My dog immediately reacted. He lifted his head and stared toward the window. His ears were perked up. He wasn't barking, just intensely focused. Oh, it's even worse when the dog hears it too. That's where you know you're not crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, it sounds like the dog probably assumed it was the mom, but he kind of like knew.
Yeah, but like knew there was something off about it. Ooh.
I guess that's like a mimic, right? Damn.
Yes, definitely.
Oh
I have one of those in my house. It's horrible.
Yeah, low-key, you kinda do, huh?
I felt this slow, sick feeling in my stomach.
Well, I can picture
I called my mom. She answered from her room and said, "No, mija, I'm in here with your stepdad." I asked if she went outside. She said no. Okay. While I was still on the phone with her, I heard it again. Bean, Beanie Weenie.
What?
That stopped my heart. Beanie Weenie was his nickname, and this time it didn't sound exactly like my mom. It sounded like my sister. My mom and sister have similar voices, but slightly different tones, and somehow whatever was outside sounded like both of them at different moments. My sister was at work that night. I checked her location. She was in the next town over. She didn't get off until 11. I slowly walked to my window and looked outside. There's a street light directly across from my house, so even though it was raining, the front yard was dimly lit. There was no one there. No car, no silhouette, no movement, just rain hitting the pavement. Behind me, my dog was still staring at the window, and I kept repeating his name over and over. Calm, patient, like it was trying to get him to come outside. At that point, I was panicking. My stepdad went outside and jokingly yelled, "Who's out there scaring my daughter and calling my dog?" But there was no response, no footsteps, nothing running away. Just rain. I shut and locked my window immediately. I ended up calling my boyfriend at the time because I was shaking so badly. Even he, and he scares easily, didn't know what to say. Nothing else happened that night, and I still think about the way it switched voices and the way my dog knew it was there, but I remember the story so clearly. But now my poor Bean has gone to heaven recently, the cost of old age. I always think about it, and it's always a good story to tell. Oh, it was trying to lure the dog outside.
Damn, bro. What?
Yeah, I've heard that's what they do, is they mimic the voices of someone that you trust to try to lure you so they can do whatever. I don't know.
Though?
What do they want to do? Eat you or fully replace you?
Maybe that they knew that, I don't know, talking to the dog would scare them the most. I don't know. That's creepy though.
Yeah,
How do you explain that?
I would be terrified.
Like, how do you explain that, bro? The nickname part, especially, because like if everyone that knows that nickname is not there, how did what the fuck? And like you don't make that shit up, you know? That's like something I feel like you don't make up.
I wonder if the mom heard it too over the phone.
Yeah, you have stories of, I mean, kind of different type of story, but you have stories of hearing your dogs talk, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I remember she's told me twice that she has heard her dogs say some shit, like whenever she's not home. What was it? One of them, like, one of the times they were running upstairs and what did they say?
Yeah, they ran upstairs and that was when you and me were upstairs and I heard the dog saying, like, they're upstairs, so let's go,
I was
let's go.
asleep or something, right? I think. I don't know. I don't know if I heard it.
Yeah, I don't remember what you were doing.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah, I've heard them talk 2 times.
You guys gotta let us know your creepy stories.
Yes.
if you have any experiences like that. I do have one more. It's a shorter one, but it's pretty
Okay.
It's pretty fucked up. I wanted to read it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this one's a little bit less creepy of like horror aspect, I guess. Just more of evil people.
Oh.
Just kind of fucked up, I don't know. I was 12 when my godfather offered me money to clean his basement. I should have said no.
Oh?
Yeah, don't.
Wait, what did he find in his basement?
Don't do that, bro. If your godfather or whatever is offering you money that's, I don't know. Never go into someone's basement. I've never shared this before publicly, but I need to, because even as an adult, I still carry fear. Not of all white people, but especially ones who act like a man I knew as a child. My godfather, Lee. I was born in Georgia. My mother was 16. My father, 36. Legal, but not right. Down. Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of...
Oh.
Shit.
How is that legal?
It is legal in some states.
Are you serious? Oh.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro.
That's
literally
like not okay.
That could be her dad. Anyways, I don't think that's the main part of the story, I don't think. She left him when I was 1 because he was abusive. Alright. Yeah. He never hit me, but he was emotionally cold and dishonest. He never told me he loved me, but he did love telling stories. One story he repeated it was how often he met my godfather, Lee, at a gas station in the early 1980s. Lee, a white man, called him a racial slur later that night. My dad saved him from being robbed at gunpoint. From that moment on, Lee said my dad was different and became his friend. Oh.
Oh, he's one. Oh, yeah. He's one of those.
He's one of those.
He's racist white
man. Which, I mean, that is a common fucking horrible thing. And
I hate that. Yeah, I hate that so much. Like, oh, you're one of the good ones. Like, bro, shut up.
Yeah.
Why is that even a thing?
I think you and me both kind of experienced that, a little bit of that in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. There's so many people that are just so behind and disgusting still. Anyways, said my dad was different and became his friend, eventually business partner. My dad even asked Lee to be my godfather. So Lee's the horrible racist one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I was 12, I finally got to visit my dad for the summer. One night, Lee offered me cash to clean his basement. I said yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
But the moment I walked down there, I knew something was wrong. My skin prickled. The air felt thick. At the bottom of the stairs was a mannequin in full KKK robes.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Oh, this man is horrible.
The walls were covered in Confederate flags, nooses, lynching memorabilia, and white power signs. I froze. Oh my god.
What? That is horrible.
Damn, bro.
I would never go back there ever again. What the hell?
What?
I would never want to be associated with. Ugh. That sounds horrible.
Lee appeared out of nowhere and said, smiling, "That room's off limits. Don't tell your daddy. He knows, but it didn't need to be remembered." What? Okay.
He knows? What is that supposed to mean?
Damn, bro, that's fucking... I can't wrap my head around that shit, but I mean, back then was a different time. It's crazy. I left immediately. Told my dad I was sick and wanted to go home early. He didn't ask questions, just drove me back. Years later, I brought it up. My dad just said, sometimes a man's got ghosts. As long as they don't haunt you, you let them be.
What?
Sure, I guess.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either. It's not very comforting, Dad. But they do haunt me. I still get nervous around certain white men. The ones who smile too fast. Who say things like, you're not like the others. Who carry themselves the way Lee did. Fake, calm, polite, but full of something darker. And I'll be honest, this experience damaged my trust in men overall, including black men. Because my own father handed me to the man who knew he kept hate in his basement, then told me to be quiet about it. That is kind of weird, but damn, that is...
Yeah.
That shit's the scariest kind of story. Horrible. Especially as a fucking kid. I don't hate all white people, and I don't hate all men. But fear, it learned its shape early and it hasn't left me. It's affecting my everyday life and how I view white people in general. How do I reverse this? I'm 36 and terrified of white people. Damn. Can't get those images out of my head.
Yeah, I mean, that's terrifying to walk into, knowing the history with those things.
For
And
real.
I can't believe that's someone's mindset still.
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, especially older people, especially in the country, not saying obviously all the country people are like that, but there's a lot, they grew up with that, they grew up with their parents thinking those things, you know, doing those things, shit, yeah, it's just horrible, and they don't
I know.
change.
I faced a lot of that when I was younger, so...
Yeah. Same. I remember. I didn't live in the country for very long. I remember a lot of...
I remember, like, when I was a kid, my family had to move because, like, our neighbors had robes like that.
Yeah.
This was, like, in the early 2000s. It was bad.
I know. Oh my god, I just remember my friend telling me a story about that. He, like, used to live down the road from known people that were a part of that.
Yeah, that's... Ugh. I hate that.
That's the scariest fucking stories, bro. Whenever you have, like, real monsters like that, like, holy shit.
Yeah, these are the scary actual monsters, like the ones that you can't see. They can't hurt you like that. They just scare you.
Yeah, no, but something like this, especially experiencing something this deep, no wonder that would stick with you forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible. So fucking horrible. Okay, that was... Oh my god, bro. Alright.
Those stories were so scary, and it's 1 a.m. right now, and I gotta go to bed alone thinking about those stories. I
can pull up a bed next to you if you need.
No.
I'm sorry. I just had to try. Okay, look. If you need help, hey, I can watch like a dog. You know, I'll be a good guard dog.
Yeah, right.
All right. Anyways, sorry, I'm ruining the mood. If you guys enjoyed that, let me know, because I want to try something else different out on this channel, and yeah, I thought it was kind of fun and creepy, and probably not gonna sleep very well tonight. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Let us know if you want us to read more scary stories.
Yes. All right. Bye.